Here on Digital Futures, we're constantly looking to demystify what appears to be complex digital advances to make them appealing and palatable to you, the viewer, irrespective of whether you're an early adopter of tech or feel utterly daunted by the dizzying pace that this sector seems to move at. Now, digital technologies have reshaped sectors, merged industries, and changed market structures. It's already transforming virtually every aspect of the way we live: economic, political, social, and cultural. Really, it's a game changer, affecting how citizens communicate with policymakers and how nations create wealth. And at the heart of it, we want to take everyone along for the ride. Today, I'm having a very special dialogue with a highly influential person who makes it his business to be fully immersed in this space, the UK's Digital Minister, Ed Vaizey. Minister, may I call you Ed?
Of course.
Wonderful. So it's brilliant to have you on Digital Futures. Thanks for doing this.
It's very nice to be on Digital Futures.
So let's kick off by setting some context and qualifying some of the phrases that we'll hear quite heavily during this dialogue. What does the term digital economy actually encompass?
Well, I think it's a very good question, actually, because it is something that you need to define. I think for me, it's defined by the technology economy. So all the things that are on our smartphones, all the kind of big web companies you can think about, like Facebook and Amazon and so on, and Google, are all part of this digital economy. But I think it's also important to remember that the digital economy is now all pervasive. You know, when you go to the supermarket, you're now actually really going to a digital company as much as a bricks and mortar company, whether it's online shopping, but also the whole distribution chain is now digitized. And hopefully when you interact with government, more and more you're interacting digitally as well.
Yes. Now, those of us working in technology quite readily embrace smart homes and the Internet of Things, virtual reality, connected cars, but a significant number of the everyday folks that I speak with say that they almost feel like they've been retrofitted to some extent into these advanced technologies and are a little bit overwhelmed by the world of big data, biometrics, and self-driving cars. What's your view on how we can ensure that we're taking non-digitally savvy folks and non-digital natives along for the ride?
There's no kind of encompassing rule that requires you to go digital. Having said that, you know, the government itself wants to provide as many services as possible digitally, and that's to help you as a taxpayer to save money and also to help you as a citizen to give you a much better service. It's really important we do engage people digitally, and I think the way to do it, and we're just kind of working up our new and refreshed plans, is as it were, as a marketing director might do it, which is to segment the population. And it's a bit of a cliche, but you know, tell grandparents that getting Skype or Facebook allows them to interact with their grandchildren, particularly if they're overseas. All of these are great opportunities, but I think government should be an enabler, a kind of guide, rather than kind of a sort of brave new world where everyone has to be digital, come what may.
Absolutely. And to your point about inspiring folks by showing them some evidence, I find telling people what it could mean to them in their daily lives, instantly you see them sort of light up and go, oh, that makes sense now. Actually, the Internet of Things, it could help me keep track of my parents.
Exactly.
Oh, now I'm sort of bought onto that. Ed, I've just launched a new video series called The Trailblazers, where we showcase 15 millennials, and that's 18 to 34-year-olds, whose ventures very, very tangibly use technology to drive social impact. Now, I know that you meet a lot of young change makers. Are you finding more of these founders than previous generations focus on meaningful digital products that have a very clear social impact?
Whether it's the sharing economy, where people are looking at make it easier to get transportation or to get accommodation in a city and so on, those are all good things which I think challenge the status quo, and we as a government have tried again to help the sharing economy. But also I suspect that millennials are focused on issues such as climate change. Clean eating is a new sort of buzz theme at the moment. So a lot of new startup companies do have a kind of social aspect, which is very much, I think, focused on people leading a kind of healthier lifestyle in its widest sense, not just you personally, but your impact on the wider environment as well.
Now, many think tanks and commentators, Ed, widely applaud the UK as being market leading in the digital space, and incidentally an upcoming report called the Digital Life Index will actually reveal the UK to be at the number 2 slot, ranked amongst 34 countries, in terms of having a very robust digital infrastructure and providing a very healthy playing ground for entrepreneurs. What, in your view, is driving this growth?
Well, I think to begin with, the British consumer, if you like, is driving the growth. We've always been a country where citizens and customers, if you like, adopt technology very quickly. So we were, I think, very quickly one of the leading, if not the leading, e-commerce nations in the world. So we back it up, I hope, with a good digital infrastructure. I'm in charge of rolling out broadband to rural areas, but we've got good broadband infrastructure which compares very well with some of the leading economies in Europe and indeed the world. We're a good place to invest. I mean, the wider agenda of, running a business in the UK really also helps the tech economy. It's a great place to start a business. It's easy to establish a company. It's a good place to get investment. It's a good place as well, I think, for skills. London in particular, but actually a lot of our leading cities around the UK attract a wide diversity of people with the right skills that these companies need to grow.
UK seems to have become quite a hub for international startup founders as well. And you're right, there's a massive kind of scale-up opportunity. So from an employability perspective then, Ed, what would you peg as some of the must-have digital skills that everyday citizens will probably need to thrive in this digital economy?
We're very focused on making sure that further education colleges, universities, and indeed schools at a senior level are really giving kids who want to work in the digital companies the kind of skills that they need. And a lot of employers have told us again and again that they're not finding the people with the right skills that they need. And so I think we need a cultural change where we see employers as partners. We don't have this divide, this kind of ivory tower of education and the world of work. There has to be a crossover. And equally, employers, particularly obviously big employers who might have the capacity, need to see themselves as educators as well as employers.
Some real food for thought there, thank you. Ed, listen, thank you so much for your time today. I massively enjoyed this dialogue with you.
Good.
It's been really sparking. You brought out some very debate-worthy points as well, so lots of food for thought.
I hope I get 250,000 views. That's all I can say.
Do you know what? I am going to
let's push
try
it out
my
there.
best.
I want it global viewing.
So
that's what I want.
Thank you for watching. Sorry, we'll wait.
Sorry, my helicopter's arriving.
Sorry, okay. Minor technicality that.
It's the way you tell them.
It's a call action to the viewers to go.